Okay, you all right? Mm-hmm. Any more yawns?
Never can tell.
You got any more yawns you got to get out of your system?
I mean, maybe.
All right,
yeah.
here we go. Let's do the hand clap. The hand clap for synchronization. This is the Frank and Friends Show. Hi, I'm Frank Murphy.
I'm Kathryn Frady.
I like it when you're here, Kathryn.
Me too.
It's been a long time.
It feels like forever.
Your hair looks lighter to me.
It is lighter, but I haven't actually lightened it yet.
Oh, this is just growing out?
Natural lightening.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. It's with the Baton Rouge flavor. You spend a lot of time out in the sun. Well, you look lovely, as always.
Thank you.
And I appreciate you being here as we crank through October, or as we call it, Rocktober. I don't call it Rocktober. My friend Pete calls it Rocktober. He sent me a text yesterday or the day before. Says, "Hey FM, how's Rocktober going?"
Nice.
So,
Rocktober.
That's good. Knoxtober. How come they haven't done Knoxtober?
Knoxtober would be good.
Who had?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, if the people down at Visit Knoxville weren't too busy knocking my radio station off the air, then
maybe we would share
by painting the sun sphere. They keep blocking our antenna.
It's terrible.
But anyway, then take that one there. Knoxtober, come on.
Knoxtober. Anyone?
I take it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
good.
But you can. Please do subscribe to our YouTube channel, especially the Frank and Friends Show on YouTube. It's well, I guess if you're watching this, all you have to do is hit subscribe and ring the bell for notifications. I took the bell away. Because,
I know.
I mean, you can have it back.
I miss it. You should have it just for me.
It's over there in the den, and I'll mention
Smash that button
momentarily. But also, please do go to our merch store and buy stuff like the mug, the towel, which I've put out of reach again.
There's cell phone cases, hats.
The bucket. Sarah brought her. Sarah Roberto bought a bucket hat.
Did she?
Says she did. She claims to have, but the one did show up in the
cart or
in the thing.
Yeah.
So thank you for that $6 or whatever I got off of that.
Love it.
I appreciate it. So that was great news. So I'm anxious to see the bucket hat that she claims to have purchased.
I hope she wears it.
I mean, I don't know. Well,
I mean,
would you wear it if you bought one?
If I bought a bucket hat,
You don't seem to me as a bucket girl.
Right? Yeah. I'd have to add like a flower or something and kind of do like a throwback.
We need a different hat for you. We need the ponytail hat or.
Yeah, or maybe just like what do they call them? Like a fascinator?
Yes.
Can you Frank and Friends fascinator?
How do we not already have that, Kathryn?
I don't know, but we should. That I would wear.
Yes, you would. All right, well, we need to work on that ASAP. So appreciate all of those things. Well, I mentioned the den. Did you happen to notice as you drove in? Actually, you probably didn't notice anything. Because when Kathryn arrives, it's like Batman driving back into the Batcave. Because... Batman doesn't want to be seen out on the road 14 miles from Gotham City. I mean, if someone were to follow him, they would know the location of the secret Batcave under Stately Wayne Manor. Exactly. So they go tearing into the Batcave, blinders on, which is much like Frady arriving in the driveway.
Nice.
So...
True. You must see me pull up.
But that's what I'm wondering. Did you happen to notice the family across the street?
I did not.
Okay. Yeah. Well, in my den, which is where the bell is and where, I keep the mugs and all the other things when
You're keeping the family from across the street in your den?
No, I'm sorry. You're right. I did say that.
Okay, just checking. Hello.
They're so lovely.
Are they tied up? What's happening here?
Yeah, they're fine. They're just enjoying themselves. They sold me a school coupon book. They came over and Jere and I bought a school coupon book. Do you have a Marble City Opera coupon in here?
I don't. That would be fun.
Why not? $1 off.
We should do $1 off in the Marble City in the coupon book for the kids.
Why not?
That'd be great.
Anyway, but the kids across the street, they came over, and I don't really need it. This is a side story. I'll tell that in a moment. But anyway, the family across the street, they went out there and they built scarecrows of themselves.
Okay.
So, but they're very, I guess size accurate.
Okay.
They took their actual clothing and they didn't go get old clothes. They took something from their actual wardrobe, and the mother, the father, and the 2 children are sitting out there on a bale of hay as straw people.
Okay. Nice.
But the straw people are staring in my den window. If they had eyes.
So it's a little creepy.
If they had eyes, they'd be looking at me. But what the weird thing is I walk through the den multiple times a day because to get to get to the radio equipment is in
one room to the next.
Yeah, constantly. I'm in and out and out.
Yeah.
But every time I walk through, I'm like, oh, who's looking? That's what I see.
Out of the corner of your eye, you see these.
Not even the corner. I mean, when you go around, it's a straight-on view of the straw family
staring at you,
and they're like doing a pose, and they're obviously clearly have artistic talent in that family because it's not that they don't look dead. They look like posed.
Alive?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know how they did it.
I don't know how I missed that.
Well, you'll see it on your way out, I'm sure. But just be careful, don't you just veer off the road in shock. But they did try to come over. They were going to ring the doorbell. We saw them come. Actually, they did ring the doorbell. Did I tell you this?
No.
They did ring the doorbell, and I was upstairs. I was going out somewhere, so I was showering late in the day after working outside. And I hear the doorbell, and I come down, and I say to Jere, who was the doorbell? She says, I didn't answer it.
You were hiding?
I was in the shower. I wasn't
and Jere
hiding.
was hiding.
Jere just decided she didn't want to answer it because usually that's my job.
I see.
When the solicitors come, especially on Saturdays,
yes,
it's my job to answer the door and deal with them.
Speaking of solicitors, I just had a couple of random guys show up in Baton Rouge at my door. I get a ding dong, and I'm actually on a Marble City Opera Zoom call, and Sasha starts barking and losing her mind. And I go to the door, and there's just these two guys out there, just like wearing regular clothes, just like some shorts and t-shirts, something not like unlike this, but no branding or anything like that.
Oh yeah, so if they're Mormon, they'd be wearing the uniform,
right? You think you'd recognize them,
hello,
right?
I'm Elder Smith, yeah.
Or if they're like with a company, you'd think they'd have some sort of branding on them,
yeah,
right?
Like the pest control people or
I assume they're looking for somebody else.
Yeah.
And I ask if I can help them, and they're there for like some security, but I was like, I'll just take a card. They asked me if they could come back. I'm like, I'm on a business meeting.
They're a security company?
They were like a security company. I'm like, well, I think I need security from y'all.
Yes.
Who are you?
You totally do. Well, I've gotten that. I've gotten the various roofing scams and all these other things. Mm-hmm. But the doorbell rings, and so Jere doesn't answer. I don't know this yet because I'm out of the shower. I guess I'm getting dressed. I'm able to look out the window upstairs, and I see the nice family walking away. So I yell down, was it the nice family? And Jere says, I don't know. I didn't answer. So a week later, we're out checking the mail. We're about to leave to go somewhere, and we see them walking toward us. And they start talking to Jere, and I'm like, I know what this is. I just get the $20 out of my wallet, and I just come over and I hand it to him. I say, look, here, nice family. We will buy your school coupon book.
Nice.
And I wanted to make sure I got it on the first day. That way, I will be able to go the maximum number of days without using it. Because, like everyone else...
You're never going to use this?
No, like everyone else in Knoxville, you forget about it until August 15th when it's 2 weeks left to go before the expiration date. And then you try to madly use them during August.
Well, you know what James and I do is we take them and we go through it immediately and we pull out all of the things that we would most likely use.
And Nice Family said...
Lakeside Tavern.
Where's that? Is that near you?
You've not been to Lakeside Tavern on North Shore? It's great.
I don't know.
It's on the lake. It's beautiful, and the food is delicious.
There used to be a different Lakeside Tavern somewhere, or no, it was Parkside Tavern. They closed that.
Yeah.
All right.
So I would just cut this out and put it in my wallet, and then when we show up,
boom,
have a coupon.
Well, the Nice Family said to let them know if we have any favorite coupons, and I said, and vice versa, they'll let us know if they have any favorite coupons, because if they are, let's say, for example, there's a grocery store coupon in here that they might not use or that I might not use, we just give them to each other. I thought that was a good deal. I'll make the same deal with you if you want.
Great. I'll just tear this one out.
But I'm seeing places in here that Jere goes to and probably has already been to since then. She goes to Salsaritas sometimes.
See? At Salsaritas, you can get $5 off the Fiesta pack.
Well, she's not going to buy a Fiesta pack.
Or a free kids meal.
She's not going to buy a kids meal.
Well, you wouldn't have to. It's free. So get something and then get the free kids meal.
With regular entree purchase. And then what do? You just give it to some kid in the restaurant?
Or you can give it to you. You're eating less, right? You get the kids meal there.
I am on the... I won't reveal all the secrets, but I am on the Richard Jeni diet program. If he was a good guy, the late great Richard Jeni, comedian. You want to Google his before he passed, his diet program, and see if you also want to go on the Richard Jeni diet.
I think the kids meal program sounds fun.
One time we booked Richard Jeni to stand up at a rock concert in Inland Empire, California for KLOS, and we were having kind of filled between. We had ZZ Top was the headliner, and I remember Billy Bob Thornton showed up because he was friends with ZZ Top, so the two of them were hanging. And talking about skinny, that they were both. He and Billy Gibbons were just like anorexic thin at the time. It was frightening.
Yeah,
but we sent Richard Jeni out there to do his set, but nobody told the sound tech people, because they are doing the drum check, and which is the most annoying of all sound checks.
Sure.
They pound the drum and they go 1, 2, and they pound the drum and they go check, check. And they pound the drum during Richard Jeni's comedy. And he got, he
was annoyed.
And it was I booked him, and all I could do is apologize and say, I can't explain it. Why they're doing a drum check during your comedy set between two other rock bands. It doesn't
make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense. So I feel bad, but he's dead now, so I can't do anything about it.
No more apologizing.
Yeah. So tell me about you, Kathryn Frady. What have you been up to?
I've been up to a lot, working. Mostly, discovering that everything decides to fall apart at the same time. So my computer died.
Oh, no. Did you get it? Wait, is that a different one?
No, this is the same one.
Oh.
It's resurrected.
Okay.
But not until after I bought another computer did this one start to work. So.
I'll buy the new one from you.
Okay.
at a deep discount.
Do you have a coupon in there?
Let me write one. Frady's Computer Services.
Perfect. Then my fire alarm went off. Like the battery died.
Oh, is this? You wrote this. I wish I could say.
Facebook
I wish I could say I read more than half of it, but I probably didn't.
Oh,
but it was. It was well done. Tell me the story. I figured I'd rather hear it from you than read it.
Yeah. So basically, fire alarms always die in the middle of the night for some reason. The batteries never stop working in the middle of the day.
Well, they do, but we're just not home to hear them.
Maybe. So it's 5:30 in the morning and it starts chirping.
Oh my goodness.
Sasha wakes up and I'm like, oh my gosh, is that the fire alarm? And
most people don't consider
again.
that the middle of the night.
I know.
You do.
I do. Correct. That's what this story is all about.
You.
Oh my goodness. So I get up, I go find a ladder. The ceilings are very high, so I can't reach it. I discovered I was very short. So I tried to climb up on top of a dresser.
Yeah.
I was using a... So I'd climb up the ladder.
Where's James? Is he 500 miles away?
Yeah, he's 500 miles away.
All right.
So I climb up on the ladder, climb up on the dresser. I'm on my knees. I finally get, it popped off.
Yeah.
And it's not only the battery's not only dead, but it's connected by wires, and it's still beeping.
Well, then how, if it's not a battery-operated smoke alarm, why is it beeping?
Right. There's no battery in it anymore, and it's connected to the wires, and it's still beeping.
You took a battery out of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was still beeping. And so before I decided, once I realized I was afraid of heights when I was up there, I decided it was time to get down.
Condo type situation?
No, it's a little house, yeah.
But are there multiple families?
There are, yeah.
So I'm wondering if the wiring would then trigger a main fire alarm back to,
Good.
The what would you call it?
Yeah.
The Baton Rouge
headquarters.
BRFD. It sounds so fake. BRFD.
I do think you made that up. So
I did. What do they call Baton Rouge Fire Department?
Yeah.
BRFD.
I guess.
It just sounds like something Andy Griffith would say.
Yeah.
Well, BRFD. But.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
So anyway, the fire department did not show up, and I decided I should not just pull the wires out of the ceiling.
No.
So I'm Googling online how I can turn this off. It suggests turning off the power to the room.
Call
so
a
I
landlord.
did that.
Isn't there a landlord?
No, there's no landlord.
Oh,
so I turn off the power.
There's
nobody.
Oh.
And it's 5:30 in the morning.
Kathryn,
no one's awake.
Middle of the
night. So I decided Sasha's freaking out by this point. It's still beeping.
You should put Sasha up there.
Exactly.
Instead of you.
I decided to take her on a walk, and it's 6 a.m. It was one of those mornings where there had been a full moon the night before, and it was really big on one side. Now it's traveled to the other side. And the weirdest thing happened when I was out there walking.
What?
There were other people.
In the middle of the night?
In the middle of the night. There were people running, and they were some people were dressed and getting in their car, and other people were talking to each other, and like
And
the
you're out
dogs
there,
were out in the
you're out there in
backyard.
your house coat and fuzzy slippers.
Yeah, I was so confused. I was like, what are you all doing? And then the sun started coming up on one side.
It's horrific. Can you
It was.
imagine?
Yeah, I decided I was a tourist at 6 a.m.
Are you?
I really am. I started taking
Wait,
photos.
your birthday's at the end of March, right?
Yes.
So wait, then when is I thought that was Pisces. My wife's
Aries.
Pisces.
I'm an Aries.
Oh, I don't. Okay, so I guess I lost track. But Taurus is a joke.
Taurus.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
A tourist.
You've picked up such a thick Baton Rouge accent
You couldn't understand me.
that I thought you were talking about the zodiac. I thought you were saying that you're moving your birthday to be a Taurus.
No.
Is what I thought you were saying.
That is not what I was saying. What I was saying is that I'm a tourist.
Taurus.
Tourist.
I apologize for my Like, Kathryn, how could you be a Taurus? Your
I was
birthday's in
like, how
March.
did we get to like Aries and Taurus and Pisces? No. A traveler. A time traveler.
Okay.
6 a.m.
Well, you fooled me.
Oh my goodness.
You totally fooled me. All right. Well, I think have I talked to you since I've changed radio stations?
Yeah, a little bit.
It happens, I think, every so often. But I was meaning to bring it up more on the show. I think I mentioned briefly that our studios in the Sun Sphere were affected by the painting of the Sun Sphere.
Right.
Well, the station flipped around some antennas and some frequencies and some formats. So the station I was on, which was 104 point, what we called it 104.9 Lake FM. I don't even know what I called it. Lake 104.9. I can't.
Lake FM.
It doesn't matter. It's out of my head anymore. I had to forget how to say the words because the station's gone, and now I need to remember to say 70s and 80s hits 105. I can't even say it now. 70s and 80s hits Fun 105.9.
Fun 105.9.
Yeah.
I like it.
So it plays, as I mentioned, 70s and 80s hits, but it's a little bit of a learning curve, so I got to do that. And if you want to check that out, or if you're wondering whatever happened to Lake FM, it's gone. The company switched it to, you might like this, 90s and 2000s throwbacks.
Nice.
So my friend Becca, who is your age, loves it. But she's a real top 40 gal. I mean, they're not going to play any opera from the 90s or 2000s.
Sure.
But
what would that even be?
There's ones that you make us listen to.
I know,
Those
exactly.
are modern operas from the 90s and 2000s.
Here's Carlisle Floyd, Susanna.
Atonal
and
stuff.
the 90s and 2000s hits.
Yeah. I did hear a super pretentious classical DJ in my travels. I can't even
Did
mention.
you? Yeah,
I can't.
it's terrible.
I can't even get into any details right now because it's
too much.
Yeah, I don't want them to find out. But it might be someone we know. But so anyway, you might enjoy that. That's on 104.9, and now I'm on 105.9, which for you hardcore, you can also listen to on AM.
Nice.
1400.
Oh, okay. AM 1400.
Or the app. I don't even have most of the radios I have in the house are AM radios that are antique.
Oh, nice.
Like from
that would be fun.
Like my father, my grandfather, and my daughter gave me one that she bought at an antiques fair. But they're AM radios, so I actually have tuned in AM 1400 on those. But around the house, if I want to just listen to myself on FM, I end up using the app on the phone.
Sure.
Because it's easier. So do that. All right. That's my plug for the radio station. Let's do a plug for bonezones.com. Don't forget the S. Kathryn, have you missed all the Bone Zones commercials?
I have missed all of them.
Well, here.
I'm so excited.
Please enjoy
I love wearing these hats. They're so nice.
It's long sleeve t-shirt season, I think.
It is.
And
this is perfect for Halloween,
Yeah, I could wear that costume.
You could.
I don't really need a Halloween costume. I don't think I could just wear that.
Yeah.
And I could as a Halloween decoration. I probably could have left the skull. Usually I put the skull away.
You could also wear this for UT.
Oh, and when they're doing
game days.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. This past weekend was checkerboard in England. So that's white and orange. But don't they do a black and orange?
I think they probably do. Yeah.
Or the blackout game around Halloween every year?
Exactly.
Or they started it a couple of years ago. So be sure to get the books. I have to study up, actually, between now and Thursday. I have to study up a little bit on the history of the Body Farm. And I have my PowerPoint presentation mostly done.
Okay.
But I need to tweak it. There's a couple. Came up with some new ideas to tweak into it, because I was on Thursday night at the Public Library in Von Orr, 7 p.m. I'll be doing a presentation on the history of the body farm that was scheduled by the folks at Bone Zones. So if you want, I think it's free admission, but they'll be selling all this stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
That's how they're going to make their money off of it, selling the books, and they're autographed. All these books that I'm holding up are actually autographed by the one and only Dr. Bill Bass.
And what's nice on the t-shirt
This one's also written by John Jefferson. It's double autographed.
It also has all of the books that you can get on the back of the t-shirt.
Yeah.
Including
these two that I'm holding up. Death Acre is the first one. It's nonfiction, like the origins of the body farm, and then some interesting stories. Carved in Bone is similar in that it's the first in the novel series, the body farm fiction series, where Dr. Brockton is in this one, and he's not a real person. He's kind of more like John Jefferson than he's like Bill Bass. But it's a fun character, and he goes on adventures and
that's fun.
Does things.
So remind me, since you're doing the history
of the body farm,
when was the body farm founded, originated?
Well, technically, I would say 1981, but Dr. Bass came here in 1971 from Kansas, and immediately realized that he needed to study dead bodies. So the original story of the body farm involved them an old sow barn where the Holston and the French Broad Rivers come together.
Okay.
And the UT was an agricultural institution, so they had this old sow barn, and it still smelled like sows. And they gave it to Dr. Bass to put some dead bodies on, and then he said, "Look, Dean, I need a better deal. I need better land," and that's how we got the land behind the hospital.
Nice.
And that became the body farm. Really, that one opened. So the one that we know opened in '81. And it didn't become famous until Patricia Cornwell wrote about it in the 90s, and that's when people protested and complained about it. It had been there for several years, and
and they had no idea. Right,
they discovered it.
Right.
So, one of the series of photos I have for the PowerPoint presentation is a guy decomposing. So, I think I think that's what they want to see, right? If you're coming to a history of the body farm, you want to see some
they
bodies.
Probably do want to see some things. Yeah. I wouldn't. I would want to know more of the history, but that's why I asked you now.
Question.
So
there's all these great anecdotes about how he didn't have any place to put dead bodies, so he dumped one into an old shower stall.
As you do.
On a Friday.
Right.
And the custodial staff got so furious that helped him, I think, eventually get a place to put him on the...
Well, what was he doing with a random dead body anyway?
As soon as he came to Tennessee, the state medical examiner, Jere DeFrancisco, sent out a letter to all of the coroners and medical examiners saying, "We got a guy who can identify corpses."
Okay.
Well, Dr. Bass had signed up as a forensic anthropologist, really, who writes about osteology. He had signed up to identify dry bones, which is what, in Kansas, they mostly would bring him, bones, and he'd have to figure out, well, goes to this. He put the pieces together like a puzzle.
Right.
But in Tennessee, there were a lot more, I'll call them wet corpses or fresher corpses being discovered. He said because it's half the size of Kansas, but twice the population, you're more likely to get discovered freshly dead than in Kansas, where you might be out there for a year before someone finds you.
Wow.
So anyway, so these people started sending these freshly dead bodies, these medical examiners, and they just ship them over to, especially the closer you are, rather than make Dr. Bass drive to Memphis or Nashville.
Sure.
They would drive the body to UT, and if one shows up on a Friday, evening, and he's like, "Okay, well, we'll just I'll look at it, but we'll dump it in the..."
Is it in a body bag, or is it just like
Probably,
you just take this body from Memphis and put it in the back of your car, in the back of your trunk, and then you...
generally there's a body bag.
Yeah.
But
but not always.
Doesn't always work out.
Yeah. Interesting.
Might be coming in on a stretcher. Might be coming in on a stretcher from someplace.
I feel like as someone who's about to produce a world premiere about grave robbing, and
yes, you need to know all this. You need to know all this. But anyway, bonezones.com. Don't forget the S. And I guess we can leave our skull here, or I can put him over here with Mo for the rest of the episode, so I don't knock into him.
And when is the event? Thursday?
Yeah, that's in Von Orr, Thursday the 19th, 7 p.m. Except Von Orr is not close. I know that they're going to come. Susan from Bone Zones said, "Oh, we'll pick you up.
Oh, nice.
We're going to make sure you're on time." I would have been. I won't be late. I'm not going to be late for a paid gig.
No, of course not.
But they know we'll pick you up and we'll drive you down there. You'll be there the whole time with us.
Nice. You're a celebrity.
Bonezones.com. Don't forget the S. All right. So, I think I always love it when we have concert stories, because you would get this probably more than anyone else. Jere, I'm going to sip, sorry.
You have a concert that you went to?
We did. Jere and I like to go to these, the ones at the Cathedral.
Yeah.
I think you would be a wonderful addition to the Cathedral concert series, because sometimes the Amadeus Chamber Ensemble is up there. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's the Tennessee Wind Symphony, the Scruffy City Orchestra.
Nice.
The Knoxville Choral Society Chorale, the smaller group, is doing the next one, I think.
Nice.
Anyway, and then even there's just the cantors of the Cathedral will put on a Christmas special. So they have these. It's free admission usually. And Jere and I like to go. I think I told the story of the time that I went to see Jere sing with the Choral Society, and I met the composer Harry Middlebrooks.
Yes.
Who was sitting in the seat that I wanted to sit in, but he and I have the same personality. We were drawn to the same pew,
right.
And we sit there and we have this great conversation, and it's worth looking up that episode. But we're sitting for the next one. It was Amadeus Chamber Ensemble, so it's Brian Selesky's. Actually, he was playing timpani. His wife Diana, who organizes the whole thing, is going to be one of the soloists. Rochelle Bard flew in to be one of the soloists, and Aaron Short, I think. Yep. Some great bass baritone who was never seen before, was his Knoxville debut, and then Diana Selesky's father, who's 95, 6, something like that, Howard Skinner, is conducting.
Oh, nice.
Well, it's a good show.
Yeah.
Well, we're looking for a place to sit. It's already gotten kind of busy, and Jere and I scooch into a pew near some people we know from church.
Okay.
Who turned out to be talkative people during the concert, and we're like, oh, this is embarrassing.
Right.
But
quiet.
before the concert, they're also talkative, and they want to know about various things. They're asking me about, how's the Scholars Bowl, how's the Dr. Bass. They know all that. They know all these things.
That's good.
And at some point, y'all mention maybe in the conversation, I might mention that I'm from New York or I'm lived in California. Well, this time, the words Northern Virginia somehow came up.
Okay.
And the lady in front of us spins around.
Uh-oh.
She's heard us say Northern Virginia. Maybe I was talking about going to George Mason or Fairfax or whatever it is.
Yeah.
She turns around and wants to know, because apparently she used to live in Northern Virginia. So I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I lived there during the 80s. And of course, she's like, oh no, she lived there in the 60s or 70s or something like that.
Okay. Well.
But she's interested in all this, and we get to talking about different cities and locations, and where Megan lives, and where my wife's sisters live, where my sister lives, and it becomes a nice little chat. The concert begins. I'm sitting there, and at some point during the concert, the lady, can I borrow your phone for a second?
Sure.
The lady who has a phone larger than this.
Okay.
So it's like a jumbo phone, but it's not as big as a tablet.
Okay.
And she's holding it up like this, because this is what old people do when you've got the, okay?
Right, and you're like looking. Yeah.
Right, because she's trying to adjust.
She's trying to adjust it. Does she have reading glasses on?
Yeah, I guess. She's trying to get the glasses.
Okay.
Like I have for me, I don't need reading glasses technically, because I had the LASIK surgery. So,
nice.
When I'm wearing my distance glasses, I've got to look down under. Like you'll notice my glasses don't have bottom rims, and for that reason, so I can kind of look, under the glasses and read the thing.
Nice.
So she's doing it differently. She's doing it like this. Now, if you're sitting in the row behind me or behind her,
yes,
and she's doing this.
Yep, I can see everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm not being nosy.
No.
Except that she's holding it in such a fashion that I have a clear view of it over her shoulder.
Right.
Plus, she uses a giant font.
Oh,
and
Lord.
She has a larger phone and a giant font. And what I see she is typing is Frank Jere met at concert, radio guy, and she's taking notes on the conversation.
That she can remember you.
Why?
Because she probably doesn't have your wonderful memory and she can't remember it.
But who cares? I mean,
So if she runs into you again, does she go to your church?
No, she goes to the Unitarian church. And I guess that was part of it, is we had a friend in common who goes to the Unitarian church.
Well, then maybe she wanted to make sure
that must be it.
Yeah, she wanted to write it down so she would remember.
She was going to tell Bob Grimmick that she met me.
And she'll go like this. Hold on, Bob. I met Frank Murphy.
Because I guarantee, it's not like she was trying to remember that she met the guy from TV or radio. She had never heard of me.
Right.
Zero. She was writing it down like she had met me for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, if that were the case, then you would have seen her do like one of these.
You just took a selfie.
I sure did.
Send me that.
I will. Because that's also like a sneaky way, if you're like...
Oh, and you see a celebrity behind you?
Celebrity behind you,
like on the plane or something.
You're just like pretending to like look at your phone.
Oh, and you flip the camera the other way.
It's like selfie, and you're like, boop, boop.
Yes, that's good.
See? Yeah, tips.
Well, so now I've seen her. Her name was Ruth, by the way.
Okay.
So I thought this is hilarious. So what she said, I got something. Well, she's taking notes about meeting me. That would be a good story for the podcast. So I better write that down. So I've got my phone like down here, because I don't want Jere to see it. And I'm typing, and you see, this is the same document. I pulled this document up on my phone.
On your phone, okay, nice.
And I'm typing, where is it? Ruth writes notes about. Here it is. Ruth writing note about Jere and me at Cathedral concert. I'm typing that to myself.
You should have typed in the second one after that. Me typing notes about Ruth, typing notes about me.
So I'm no better. I'm no better than anybody else.
Yeah, I like it. Well, I take notes on my neighbors' names sometimes. If I meet somebody new, I just write it down. I don't, and then I lose the paper that I wrote it down on. But it helps me remember.
The act of writing it down, I think, is a great thing.
Yeah. You good?
No, I'm not.
Oh no. What happened?
I forgot to turn that part on. Well, okay. I guess today is the day we test the backup audio.
It's a good thing we put it out there.
Oh, I feel so dumb. Well, I was going to tell more stories, but maybe we'll just wrap the episode.
And see how it sounds. And
yeah.
Dang,
man. I was so embarrassed about screwing up the audio on Sarah's episode. And now I screwed up the audio on this one.
Well, we have backup, so it's going to be perfect.
No, it'll be mediocre at best. All right. Well, now all I can do now is be chagrined. I was going to tell you the story about other funny things that I've written down.
Stay tuned for more funny things coming to you soon.
Well,
I will be back.
You'll be coming back?
I'll be back.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, the next episode, better not screw that up. Next episode is supposed to be Sarah. She's threatening to bring over Halloween candy.
Yeah? I hear you have some ghost mug that you might be incorporating.
That's the plan. I'm going to make sure I have my Halloween decorations. So
Okay,
I do have a ghost mug that I can use during that show.
Nice.
And we'll be tasting, and we have a bowl with a hand coming out of it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So anyway, Sarah's bringing over what she says are her least favorite or the worst Halloween candies of all time.
Okay.
The problem is they're my favorite candies.
Which ones? Well, I'm going to have to wait and watch because
I
I want to know which ones are the worst.
The ones that I love are the ones that she and apparently most of the world hates.
Really?
Well, we'll start with candy corn if you'd like to have some.
I do like.
But I do like
Mexico
salted peanuts. Sounds
nice.
delicious. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I go to our merch store at frankandfriendshow.com/store to buy a bucket hat and I don't know. I guess I should start
cell phone
selling
case and pint glasses
things.
and
all the things. And also go to audibletrial.com/frankandfriendshow to get a free 30-day premium membership and then try out all that Audible has to offer during that month and enjoy the heck out of it. And then it'll continue, and every month you get an MP3 download, including during your free month. You get a credit for an MP3 that you can download and keep forever on whatever device you want.
Fabulous.
And when you're listening to the streaming Audible, this show is on there. So I'll make the audio sound as best I can. Good golly.
It'll be great.
Fool. And last time it was Sarah's fault, at least I could blame her. This time I can only blame myself. It
was never my fault.
I know. No, never your fault. audibletrial.com/frankandfriendshow and do subscribe on the YouTubes. So let's just hope and pray that backup audio sound is okay.
That sounds fantastic.
How
I already
do you know?
know.
How do you know?
Well, I mean, hello. I'm here. here. It's going to sound great.
It is the Frank and Friends show. I'm Frank Murphy.
I'm Kathryn Frady.
And we'll talk to you next time. I am so stupid.